Oh, the days that it takes to become a man. My brother is crying, looking up at the thing, and we haven't even got out of the car. Meanwhile, the hour of his doom is approaching, in feet per second as we are speeding down the 101. Through contorted, tear-streaked cheeks, the kid begs mercy from the back seat. "Don't make me go," he says to me, his eldest sibling. To the boy who just a month ago grew into double digits, I say, "We're going to be on that ride in 5 minutes." Now, there were no other realities in my voice, but I was rooting for him too, you see. His mother would have given to these cryings, these little babyings, or his father would have been awkward, walking around in a sea of people with his little boy. But now I, your older, wiser brother, have given you two equally bad options. Come to the wild thing, or be left in a crowd full of strangers all by yourself. Walking into the park, I pulled you together, telling you you will leave more badass than you are now. But my brother, he is new to this place. He is but a month above the 10-year mark in existence. But wait, it seems that we are made of an eternal matter, and the beauty of our forms, molded from a crust, has come to Valley Fair, and we have found ourselves the distinct possibility of a slick green rail car through time. We, the ingenious, breakable, and teensy, daring the earth to try and break us above gravity. Among the steepest of parallel parabolic tracks, we are flying to that picture book memory of our fates. Remember, my brother, without terrible, terrible fear, some of the greatest moments of our lives wouldn't exist. And it was this way when the clacking of the rail car of Wild Thing took us into the sky that day in Minnesota, and the world rose up and up and up, and I was strapped in that green chair with you, and you couldn't look over the side. You needed to hold my arm and close your eyes and duck into the cover of my sweatshirt. And I told you to look, because such a huge drop is even worse if you can't see what's going to happen next. Your imagination could take over, and then, when you feel the beyondness of weightlessness and the loss of the grab of gravity, you might imagine that feeling continuing just long enough to change your little squirming body into a bleeding pile of crooked bones. So I said, "Look, Ben, look!" as we approached the drop, and you screamed like a soprano, though I'm sure it would have sounded amazing at the top of your range and honestly scared to death. But you weren't 20, you were 10. And I felt for you, buddy, because I was once young and so sensitive. A bad grade could make me cry. And I was supposed to be a boy to one day become a man. And it was at this very park that I was here and I chickened out. I was too afraid to ride Wild Thing, and I was 13. But I went on it later and I realized it was the same, that it was I who could change, that you must be Wild Thing. He who loves being thrown about, he who climbs to the top of the earth with no walls, like Charlie in the great glass elevator, and to know the size of a man, a speck standing to a sphere, and to know what happens next when you can take it and ride into it. And laugh as the wind flies through your ears and you can say to the whole universe, "I am bad ass." Through tears not of fear or sorrow or loss, but those of joy and careless velocity, Benjamin Jason Thompson Isaac, my brother, rode the Wild Thing, not just once that day in Minnesota, but 7 times. And even when it started raining a little and it whipped our faces like a million miniature invisible whips. But that first time I will never forget. We made a keychain picture for Mike, your dad, of us going through the tunnel at the end of the 3-minute ride. And you remembered what I told you. You remembered to smile at the camera flash. Through your tear-streaked cheeks, you smiled as that camera flashed. And that, my little brother, was badass. Okay, so here's my part to say memories and give advice. Okay, so you'll edit this out, I'm sure, Mike, because I'm still thinking about it, but I wanted to make sure I get this done for you. Favorite memories, Benjamin. The best memories that I have are when all of us are together. You know that. And it's the times that we are laughing, we're playing games, we're thinking of silly nicknames for each other. We are laughing at all the previous memories of our family when we've had together, whether it's been on vacation or doing something silly around the dinner table, something one of us has said or done that made us laugh. And it's those times that I consider the most precious. And I hope you do too. That when you are feeling kind of down and kind of out and you're thinking, I don't like college, I want to come home, that you remember it's going to be okay, that there will be plenty more times for you to come back and share some more of those happy memories and laughs that we all have together. I think some of the times that I've seen you grow the most have been when you've really, really challenged yourself. And you, Mr. Benjamin Jason Thompson Isaac, when you set a goal and you stick to it, you can do amazing things. And it might be as small as getting your homework done in time, or before the deadline, or sleeping in your closet for a month, or it's setting a goal not to eat any sugar or drink any soda or anything. When you set that goal and you really stick to it, there's a confidence and a feeling of achievement that you can't buy. And so I just want to encourage you to keep setting goals, that remember that you are moving up, that you are expanding, and that the more you try and the more you take risks and the more you set goals, that you will achieve really, really great things. And remember how much we love you, that we think you're amazing. You are a good friend. You are a strong person. You have a lot of character. You have a great sense of humor. I think you are an amazing artist, and I hope you continue to, either if it's cartooning or painting, that you'll keep trying to capture how you see the world and put it down on paper or canvas or words, because you have a way of seeing the world, and when you share that with other people, it makes us happy. So continue to do that and follow your bliss. That's my advice. One piece of practical advice, because I am your mother. Use a planner. Write things down. You know why? Because if you don't, you forget. And if it's not written down, you have nothing to cross off, which goes back to that feeling of accomplishment that I know you love. So remember to keep a planner, keep it practical, get your things done, and call us, because we'll miss you. Love you. Mwah.